Hey, we're back to talk more about living life with chronic pain. I want to go back to my timeline. I started in the beginning a little bit to 2007, 2008. I talked about having several episodes of questionable TIAs. Um, During that time, like 2007 is when it started. I had several episodes between 2007, 2009. And what's interesting is after the first one, I was started on Coumadin after they realized that after they found out I had factor V Leiden mutation. So if you go back to the my one of my videos, they, as soon as I was having the TIA symptoms, they ran a boatload of tests, and that's when they found the factor Leiden, which is hereditary. I did have to get my family and my kids tested. My kids are not carriers, thank goodness. But my dad is a carrier, so I did inherit it from him. Um, so at that point, then I was started on Coumadin, just because of the fact that, which is a blood thinner, because of the fact that I've had several, TIAs now, and I now have this bleeding disorder on top of it. And just to give you an idea, factor V Leiden is where your body tends to clot more than the average person. So that is the reason why we chose to start blood thinners. And what's interesting is we would go through trials where we would try to go off the blood thinners to see, maybe these really weren't TIAs. And then we go back on because I'd have another episode. And then in 2011, I believe it was, I was hospitalized for several days with intractable chronic back pain, where I just couldn't get the pain under control. At that time, the only thing my doctor could come up with is, the Coumadin was pushing the blood through my body faster and harder than what it should be, and it was causing such severe pain throughout my entire body. So at that time, we switched to Pradaxa, which I have been on since without any issues, thank God. Now, when we talk about AS, which we just did, again, autoimmune disease, and one of the factors for AS is, it causes inflammation. Inflammation equals pain. What do they treat, you know, inflammation with? Anti-inflammatories. So now I'm in a pickle because I can no longer take anti-inflammatories due to being on blood thinners. And what this is what I'm talking about. The effects that I still have from fibro is where you're in the middle of a conversation and your brain just stops. It stops working. It's so frustrating. I'm not going to stop and delete that part because that is the reality for me. That is what happens, and you guys just got to experience what I'm talking about. So, anyway, now I am stuck in a situation where I have this horrid disease, autoimmune condition that is, stemmed from chronic inflammation. And now I have no option to treat this chronic inflammation with the standard. So, needless to say, I have been living, life. I've had to find other options, which, you know, for normal people that wouldn't have this factor five and be on blood thinners are able to, have the option of these anti inflammatories. I no longer did. So, I just wanted to touch base on that a little bit. And we're going to come back for more here shortly. See you soon.